that view from the bottom of the hill and climbing that mountain, a little bit of my struggles, and some things that I've done to help get through those struggles to get to where we are today. But before we get started, I want to kind of do a short little exercise with you today. It's not anything physical or exciting because we're all like sweating and hot enough, right? I thought it was so warm in here, I think I might pass out up here. But anyways, so I'm going to read some different statements. And if that statement applies to you, I would like for you to stand. Please don't be afraid. Please participate. Super important. And your answers and vital in moving forward as well. So please stand if one of these statements apply to you. I have kind of lost my mojo for my Scentsy business over the past year. I feel pressured to do things other consultants are doing. Please remain standing. Please remain standing. I feel pressured to do things other consultants are doing. I've suffered from depression or anxiety. I feel insecure. I compare or have compared myself to others. I'm exhausted from feeling like I'm not good enough. The purpose of this exercise is to bring to light to the fact that you are not alone. Look around. And we want to break down these struggles and these walls of isolation. Your Scentsy brother or sister may be going through the same struggle as you've seen. You may be seated. Today, I want to help you dream and build a life designed by you. To help you set goals and take actions. To move forward with tips and ideas, next steps in gaining freedom, victory, or encouragement for the areas you may be struggling in. Because during my 12 years as a consultant, I too have struggled in many of these areas. I became a consultant in 2011. I attended my first Scentsy convention in Fort Worth, Texas. Was there anyone in Fort Worth, Texas in 2011? I know that was a long time ago, but raise your hand. We had a great time. It was amazing. Matter of fact, John Maxwell was there. While in Fort Worth, I heard tons of stories. I was a new consultant, right? And I heard stories from so many consultants, how their lives were impacted and changed because of Scentsy. Scentsy had been a vehicle to make their dreams a reality. People from all walks of life. Some had master's degrees, while others did not graduate from high school. And I had an aha moment there. Because I thought, if they can do this business, I too can do this business. I can work hard. During this time of me being there, I was very desperate in my life for a change. And so I had this aha moment there. And I want to stop here for a moment because I think it's super important for us to go back to every single one of us here today started out in the same place. We all started out as essential consultants, right? Mm-hmm. We all have been given the same opportunity. Every single one of us. But while I was in Fort Worth, I started to visualize my life and what I wanted for my life, for the future of my family. So I wanted to encourage you here today, do not be afraid to go up to other consultants. We love to share with you. We love to chat with you. We want to share our stories with you because we want to inspire you. Because our lives have been changed and we want your life here changed as well. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs. Our family didn't have a whole lot. We had love, but material things were not there. we were considered very poor. I never knew what it was like to have new clothes until I started working at my own job when I was 14 years old. After I graduated high school, I went to college, but I dropped out. And I share that with you today because I don't have a degree, I don't have any special skills, I don't have any special talents. I grew up poor, but I did not have poor dreams. I wanted to change my future. After joining Scentsy, I earned an incentive trip to Greece. And on our way home from Greece, we had a layover at an airport. I don't even remember where it was at. But it just so happened the Thompson family had to be there. And I was so excited. So I'm like, so I started asking Orville all these questions, you know? And the one thing that has forever stuck out in my mind, and my group has heard this from me over and over and over but they're probably sick of hearing it because I share it all the time. Orville told me, if you will work this business for 5 years like you're earning a college degree, this business will forever change your life. So, you know what? I'm naive. So I went home and I went to work and I worked for 5 years. And I'm like, I told my husband, I'm giving this business 5 years, just like Orville told me. So I booked home parties, I did all kinds of home parties. The foundation of my business was built on home parties, fundraisers, and vendor events. It takes time to build something great. It does not happen overnight. And you need to keep that mindset. Six years ago, we moved to Fairhope, Alabama. It was our family's dream. We loved Gulf Shores. We loved a vacation in Gulf Shores. That was our dream. We wanted to live in a warm climate. I grew up in the snow. I was sick of shoveling snow. My husband was sick of shoveling snow. We were exhausted of the cold weather. So we wanted to live in a warm climate. That was my dream. Now, when I went home from Fort Worth, Texas, I wrote that down. I'm going to live someday in a warm climate. Because of Scentsy, we had that opportunity. 2021, we bought a vacation beach condo in Gulf Shores. And I do not share that with you to brag. I hope it inspires you. Because this business is no respect of person. In the 12 years, I've earned each and every incentive trip. And I want to tell you the key, work your business the same 12 months out of the year, not just earn incentive. Earned annual sales and mentor awards several times. And I've been consistently paid as a superstar director for the last 4 years. My success comes from consistency and hard work. In 2019, I had some serious health problems. It's really difficult for me to talk about still to this day, to be honest with you. I actually lost. My vision was extremely blurred for 2 months. I couldn't see, except I couldn't read a sign across the road. I couldn't drive. I was pretty much confined to the home unless somebody was able to take me somewhere. My daughters took me from doctor to doctor to doctor. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I had other issues going on. And I started to struggle with that fear and anxiety that creeps in, right? So it was a very difficult time in my life. And I want to share with you today what helped me in moving forward from that. Because as you've seen here today, from everyone that stood up here today, we all have the same struggles. We're not so different, are we? We all go through those times. They eventually figured out what was wrong with me. They gave me some medicine. I have an autoimmune disease. They're so difficult to diagnose. But I went on a journey of getting my healthy mindset back. such a hard time. And if you struggle with anxiety, I've been in your shoes. We talked about it just a little bit ago, about your why, right? So important in knowing your why. I actually like to call it what they call it, what's your driving force. Knowing your why, knowing why you want what you want will propel you into action. A clear why connects you to the work that you're doing. A clear why is your driving force. And that's why vision boards are so important. Another thing I started doing is journaling. Actually, I brought my journal. I take my journal almost everywhere I go, I'll be honest with you. Because you know what? In this journal, I write down my dreams, my visions, my goals. Scriptures that are so close to my heart. Somebody says, Martha, will you pray about this with me? Let me write it down because I'm not going to remember it 12 hours or whatever from now. I put everything, my life is in here. How I'm feeling. Journaling is very therapeutic. Your therapist, if you would go to a therapist, they would tell you to start journaling, to start writing things down. I have several journals right now. Allison Dalkey gave me this one. It's actually my favorite one. I love it. I also use Post-its. I have Post-its all over our house. And you know what? Two of my kids are married. I have one at home. But you know what? They put Post-its up all over too. Inspiring quotes, scriptures. My daughter put one on our front door, something that is close to her heart. Surround yourself with positive things. It's going to make a difference in your life. It's so important, so important. Writing down your goals helps process your thoughts and it keeps you focused. Vision work provides you a roadmap. You don't know what direction you're going, how do you know how you're going to show up for that day? Right? Another thing I started doing is writing down all the things I'm thankful for instead of focusing on my health. Because we still have a lot of things we need to be thankful for. We're so blessed, right? So blessed. Develop an attitude of gratitude. Listen to motivational podcasts. I started walking, joined the gym. So I want to encourage you today, I want to challenge you to set 15 minutes aside every single day to get your mind right. I got to get in my office every single morning. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to fill yourself up with good things. My devotions, my journal, my prayer time, it keeps me aligned, it gets my mind right. Otherwise, that self-doubt will creep back in, that anxiety, that fear. I don't want that in my life. We have to take specific, aligned action. All right, I'm going to shift gears here. Something that I think is super important to talk about because it's really motivated me when I was a new consultant. So I want to ask you a question. What is your dream commission? What is a number that could change your life? What is a number that will stretch you out of your comfort zone, but that's achievable? I want you to think about that. You don't have to write it down right now, but you need to get a clear vision in your mind. What kind of commission will change your life? You need to use the whole concept of SMART goals. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. You got to get that picture in your mind. Many years ago, as a director, I think it was a new director, I can't remember what year it was, but I was invited to a retreat called Make Shift Happen. Becca Levi, who knows Becca Levi? She changed my life, you guys. She believed in me. She pulled me aside when I was a new director and spoke it into me. Super important. And she invited me to this retreat. And she's the one that had us write down our dream commissions at that time. My first dream commission was $5,000. Now, Before I go any further here, I want to share something with you. I'm just a small fish in a big pond in the superstar director realm. Let me just tell you that. There's superstar directors that make way more money than I do, okay? Let's just get all that out in the open here as I don't know, do we need an income disclosure or something? I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to get anyone to turn me into clients. All right. That was my first dream commission. I still have that, you guys. I still have it. I like to see, like we're talking about looking back, and then we're on the climb here. Okay, it's super important to see how far you've come. I achieved that one, and my next one, I got it out, I wrote it out, I wrote out a $10,000 check. And as I was doing this, we are very involved in our church, we're in ministry at our church, and I would write out a tithe check on that commission to my church with my name signed on that, because I believe in walking by faith. My next one was the $15,000, and I would go up from there. And then I keep these in my journal. I call this my prayer journal because I pray over it. And I keep it in, this is my one I'm working towards right now. Super important for you to take action, you guys. Take ownership of your business, of your life. The commission, your dream commission can happen for you. Every single one of you. This is a no-ceiling income business. We have the best compensation plan out there. We are so blessed to be a part of Scentsy, a part of this journey together. So we're so blessed. In 2023, it's going to look exactly the same as 2022 unless you get out of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. Now, I know some of you were talked about burnout and you're exhausted, but I want to tell you, when you get burned out, learn to rest. Don't quit. During my 12 years, I had a couple of directors that quit, and then they called me back and they're like, okay, can you help me rebuild? What? Okay, why did you quit? I tried to get you not to quit. Learn to rest. Don't quit. Don't quit. We're so blessed. So get a clear idea of what kind of future you want to create for yourself, because that's going to determine your success. And what I wanted for my life and for my family may not be what you want, but go after the life that you want to create. Dream big. Every single one of you has a journey waiting to unfold, a story that needs to be written. Every single one of you here today. And if you're feeling burnout or exhausted, maybe you're not being paid at title. There's so many of us that have walked in your shoes. You're not alone. I promoted to superstar director in 2017. Shortly after that, I was no longer being paid at title. I felt discouraged, defeated. But I'm not a quitter. You put a challenge before me, you tell me I'm gonna make something happen here. Because I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna prove to you that I can do it. I told you how poor I was when growing up. So I'm gonna change my life, right? During this time, I didn't know what to do, so I started to dig deep within my group. I had a couple directors that were not leading, so I thought, well, I'm going to step in. There's got to be some consultants in that downline that's just waiting for somebody to believe in them, right? So I started sending text messages. I started sending handwritten cards. I wanted them to know that they mattered to me, that I believed in them. I picked up that 500-pound phone. It's so hard to call people nowadays, right? I wanted them to hear my voice. I wanted them to know that they were important to me. And guess what? Not everybody, every single consultant responded to me. Like, why would you not do that, right? How dare you? But you know what? Some of them did. And you work with the willing. Always remember that. Don't take it personally, you guys. Work with the willing. Do you call back your car warranty company? Do you think they're offended? No, they don't care. All right? Work with the willing. By doing this, I developed a lot of new friendships. I started coaching, and over time, I had 3 new directors. One of them was 8 levels down from me. She became my frontline director, and she's my good friend today. Work with the willing. We are here to love and just serve people. I believe in servanthood leadership. Be a servant. Have a servant's heart and reach out to people. When you help enough people achieve their goals, you will achieve your goals as well. That's how it happens. During these times of struggles, I've had huge personal development. And you know what? God knew I needed that personal development. I'm not the same person I was 12 years ago, thank God. I've grown. I'm much healthier and stronger today. And the struggle that you may be going through right now, it's part of your story. Keep going. Decide today that you will embrace the struggles, the hard times, because that's where your growth comes from. We don't get burned out because of what we do. Sometimes we just forget why we do it. Keep your why front and center. All right, I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to share some things that I feel like has helped us in building our organization. One of the things that is very important to me is creating they're small groups. Small groups help foster relationships. The small group atmosphere, people are going to open up, they're going to talk, and they're going to share. The small groups creates community, and it creates culture within your group. One of the things I do is Marco Polo. Now, I have different chats, but one of our Marco Polos is like crazy. And it's so interesting to listen to. My husband laughs. It's our superstar director in Mexico, Carrie Lee from Country, Alabama, or Florida, sorry. I got a Tennessee girl, and we have 3 Canadians in the group. So, as they're going through and they're playing, it's just interesting listening to them talk and the conversation, but you know what? It's created a friendship that they will forever, ever have. And we share life together. Not only Scentsy, we share what we're doing in our business and what motivates it, but we share life together. We are in a relationship business. Another thing we do monthly, the first Tuesday of every month, and we've talked about it here today, is Booking Blitz. We get on Zoom and we book parties together and we cheer each other on. Last year I started doing what I call our SOAR retreats, and we do it at our beach condo, and we work on personal growth, development, daily business operations, training, along with fun times. And guess what? Somehow, we made the catalog. This is our SOAR retreat on page 58. So if anybody would like my autograph, I can autograph the catalog for you. And we kicked off the first part of January is what I call BYOB, and it's Build Your Own Business. It's an 8-week program that goes back to the basics of our business. I do everything in Booking Blitz. Parties are the key to this business, you guys. Let me just stop here for a minute. Parties are the key to your business. Parties are the key to high PRV. Parties are the key to you recruiting. Parties are the keys to so many things. I can't talk about that enough, and I'm not supposed to be talking about that. So anyways, I just gotta throw this out there too. If you cannot book parties, and please don't take this personal, I wanna help you. If you cannot book parties, or if you're struggling to get sales, you have a networking problem. Okay? You have to learn how to expand your network. Whether it's in person, social media, I'm going to talk about more of that in a minute. One other thing that I do trainings on, and I really encourage our consultants to do, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to quote this real quick. How many have heard the quote, treat your business like a business and it will pay you like a business, treat your business like a hobby and it will cost you like a hobby, right? Hobbies are expensive. My husband has a boat. They're expensive. All right. So, I want to ask you another question. Do you have a hobby mindset or do you have a business mindset? You need to do some self-evaluation there, okay? In our business binder, we have a daily tracker for our numbers, for your PRV, your TWB, and your GWB. Business owners keep track of their daily numbers. My husband owned a brick and mortar business, and you better believe that he tracked his numbers. Our dream team list form, and if anyone would like these forms, I can help you with these forms. A customer follow-up, monthly mail-outs, keep track of your clubbers. If we're an incentive, there's an incentive tracker in there, annual sales, annual mentor trackers, and daily method of operations. I'm going to go over more of that in a minute as well. I want to ask you another question. Do you think if you set your mind to it, do you think you could sell $83 of Scentsy every single day? I want to raise your hand if you really put your mind to it and focused on it. Do you know if you sell $83 a day, you'll earn the annual sales award? Who can use an extra $1,000 in their pocket? Woo woo! Right? How about walk the stage at Scentsy Family Reunion, receive a gorgeous trophy in the mail, right? The Scentsy year goes from May 1st to April 30th. And that's selling $30,000 in a year. But when you break it down into a daily goal, doesn't it seem so much more achievable? Break your goals into bite-sized goals, okay? And guess what? If you sell $83 a day, you're gonna sell over 2,000 PRV. You get a 5% sales bonus, right? So important to have a business binder. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. So important to have a business binder to help keep you accountable. It makes it so much more achievable. I know every single one of you are sitting here today waiting for the magic formula of what is going to change my business, right? Well, I have got the answer for you. You guys got your pens and you're going to write this down. It's income producing activities. IPAs. That is what's going to change your business. We must learn to prioritize the income producing work. Activities times effectiveness equals results, right? There's a huge difference in being busy and being productive. All right, I've got a few examples of IPAs. Parties, host coaching, sponsoring conversations, customer follow-up. What is not income producing? Making beautiful Canva images. Not income producing. Actually, making samples is not income producing, or trying to come up with the greatest next invention to sell Scentsy. That's not income producing. Manage your time. Don't do busy work, or do the busy work and start being productive. All right, on the screen is a daily method of operations task list that we have created for our group because it's so helpful in knowing what to do every single day. And you can scan the QR code there if you've got your phones. And then I have some, I don't have enough physical copies for everybody, but my husband made up a few. And I'm just gonna set them right here if you want one. And we're gonna go talk about this a little bit as well. Now, does anyone do power hours with your team? You guys. Yeah, all right, yeah, we got two. Okay, that's good. I suggest doing this as a power hour with your team. Also, there's a power hour sheet in your workstation. Did you guys know that? It's a great form. A lot of these are income producing. This is just a daily task list of the things that you need to do in your business. And we've got it based on a point system that you can do the minimum, but if you really want to grow your business, you're not going to be a minimalist, right? You're going to do all of them.
So I want you to screenshot that, or like I said, I got the physical copy here. After you do that, I actually want you to go to the notes sections of your phone, because I want to give you a couple of scripts that will help you, I feel like, with the DMO list. One of the activities is had 3 to 5 join conversations. Who do I ask to join my team? I highly recommend, and you starting with your current customers. I went back and looked over my recruits. 85% of my recruits were hostesses or a customer. Your customers already love Scentsy, so start there. And you simply ask. If you got the notes section up on your phone, I'm going to give you the script so you can copy and paste. Hey Sally, hope you're doing well. I was just thinking about how much you love Scentsy, so I wanted to ask if you've ever thought about doing what I do, because you would be amazing. Always compliment them. That's a very simple script for a joint conversation.
Repeat that.
Yes. Hey Sally, hope you're doing well. I was just thinking about how much you love Scentsy, so I wanted to ask if you've ever thought about doing what I do. You would be amazing. Now you can change up the verbiage to fit you. And I'm going to challenge you right now, text that to 3 of your current customers. If you get an answer, stand up and scream, Scentsy Spirit, just like they did earlier. There you go. Now, I have another script I want to share with you, and it's for booking parties. Hey, Bobby G, I thought I had to use the 2 names because I'm in Alabama now, and that's what we do in Alabama. We use 2 names. Hey, Bobby G, I've been thinking about you. I know life is crazy, but let's get together and have a Scentsy social. And then you give them 2 date options. Does February 15th or 16th work for you? Yes. Hey, Bobby G, I've been thinking about you. I know life is crazy, but let's get together and have a Scentsy social. Does February 15th or 16th work for you?
One more time.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, Bobby G, I've been thinking of you. I know life is crazy, but let's get together and have a Scentsy social. Does February 15th or 16th work for you? I'm going to keep chatting while you guys are texting, but feel free to interrupt me. It's not going to offend me. Rome was not built in a day, and neither will your business. Time and consistency is how it was built, 1 brick at a time. Your business is no different. It takes time to mature and grow a business into an empire that you desire it to be. If you desire to have a successful business, you need to be ready to lay some bricks. I always go back to Orville's 4 chords of progression because it is a great way to lay your bricks every single day. Our business is simple. Let's not overcomplicate it. Chord number 1 is do the parties. Chord number 2 is recruiting. Chord number 3 is customer service. And chord number 4 is improve yourself. And we've talked about all those today. Some days laying bricks is hard. You hit walls, people annoy you or ignore you. Your hard work might go unrecognized, which will probably leave you discouraged, ready to quit. But when you consistently do the things every day, every week, every month, your empire will rise. Rome's architectural beauty was the end result of system laying bricks every hour, every day, for years. It took them 6 to 8 years just to build the Colosseum. Focusing on laying your bricks daily is more important than worrying about the end result. You will reach your goals if you keep consistent in laying your bricks. Remember, small actions equal big things. I want to encourage you as I'm closing out today to love people exactly where they're at. You can't change people. Love them where they're at. If they're not willing to change, maybe you need a bless and release. But I do want to tell you this, your entire life can change in 1 year if you will follow these chords or progressions. Love yourself enough to know that you deserve the change. And discipline yourself in the habits that are needed. So important. I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out to show up here today.